I think we're ready.
Okay, we're good to go.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Lava Crows, where we last left off. It was a daring adventure as everyone explored a strange ecosystem in here that has some very deadly, adorable, tiny life. Crossing a above a lava river and nearly dying from the heat, and discovering on a Nat 20 a giant buried treasure chest that had as Kitlak was calling, crab car. Not that he knew it was a crab car until he pulled that last lever. Um, yes, and Genevieve got squished in a very Looney Tunes manner, tipping that chest open. There were also some other treasures, and possibly this is all related to a potential legendary bank theft from centuries ago. But hey, who cares about two corpses? We've got a crab car.
Crab car.
Hey,
There's
she's
still the
not a
mystery.
corpse. She is not a corpse. They
She has been stabilized,
stabilized.
but she has 4 hours to recover before she wakes up. And there's still the question of the how this all got into a giant chest and why it was in there and all that other stuff. But who cares about answering questions? When we've got levers to pull and see what happens. Last time Kitlak was able to figure out forward, backwards, window shutters, claws, and I think up and down too.
Yeah, let me check my notes. So I figured out how to get the legs out, how to do the forward and side shutters, how to get the claws out, how to walk forward or I think backwards. I figured out how to sink into the ground and how to open the rear hatch.
Yep.
So the only levers I haven't tried are 8, 5, and 4.
No, four was the last one you tried, and that got the claws to extend.
Oh, excuse me. 8, 8, 5, and what's the
Seven,
other
I
one?
think.
Oh yeah, 7. Excuse me, 8, 5, and 7. Misread that. I don't know. My
However,
brain was
cooler heads
just
have prevailed, and there will be no more lever pulling or pushing while Genevieve recovers. I
uh,
believe that was
the
the deal made.
the only issue is that Kit like doesn't know how to turn this thing yet. So he's got 3 levers. He's pretty sure one of them is going to turn this thing. So he kind of has to find that lever before he can really drive it properly.
Very true.
So Kitlak is going to, let's see. I'm just going to roll a d4 and ignore a result of 4. Oh well, there you go. All right. That is number 5. Kidlock's going to pull number 5. All
Pull
right, he's
is
going to push up because I've been pushing up on each of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, while we're using pull and push, we do need to use up and down. So up,
Yeah. Yep.
the claws that you figured out last time,
Yeah.
um, they each reach out and snap at something that isn't there. Looks like
Kitlak.
an attack of some sort.
Kitlak makes a mental note of that. He pulls it down.
Um, Give me 1 second here. This time it is also an attack, but it seems to be trying to grab something.
Interesting. All right, Kitlak's just going to go down the list then. He is going to pull lever 7.
All right.
Up,
That's
up,
up.
up, up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. The
Push, I
legs are
guess.
extended currently, so that turns it 90 degrees counterclockwise.
Oh, good. So he's going to pull it down.
That turns it 90 degrees clockwise. You're back in the original position you had,
Okay. Well, Kitlak, now knowing how to turn, is going to drive everybody back to town.
which you still don't know where it is.
Well, okay. That is
You
true. That
all
is
you
true.
all determined that some of these tunnels, one of these tunnels over here, probably leads you out to where um, that was it a satyr? No, it was a minotaur. Where that minotaur said might lead you in the back way. You just don't know exactly where that leads because you have to enter that tunnel. You also have one last lever.
Kitlak's gonna push it. 8,
That
I believe.
pushes up.
Yeah, pushes up.
Yeah.
My bad.
The eye stalks on top emit a bright light for 30 feet and dim light for another 30 feet.
Kitlak's going to pull that one down.
The lights turn off.
Oh, okay. Well,
That was very simple.
yeah, Kitlak's going to turn the lights on and then trundle this thing forward.
All right. You are going to trundle this thing forward. Does everyone in the back agree to this? Because right now Genevieve is unconscious, and you got 4 hours before she wakes up. Although you guys don't know how long until she wakes up. That was the dice roll result. You all let Kitlak just drive you around.
Kitlak, do you ever sleep?
Not when I've got Crabcar, thank you very much. So from what I can understand with this model, there is a portion of the base that has collision. It is not the whole base.
Yeah,
but,
it is only supposed to fit 2 people, but I am letting 4 of you squish in because you're all small.
I mean, they don't even really need to be on there. We all know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we put
In fact,
all 4
we
of you
can.
to the side for a
Yeah,
moment?
that's what I was gonna say. We can probably get off of there, or not. There we go. Oh, what? Oh, come on. Get out of there.
No, 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 no.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it when they decide to KonMari.
Anyways, do you let Kitlak drive this strange machine?
They would have to pry him away from the controls. There would
Mean-
be a fight.
Meanwhile, I
Yeah,
believe
that's kind of what Cassie gathered.
Cassie has something niggling at the back of their mind about this thing, but she doesn't know what. I believe it was Shay who was the one who heard a story. It was like a, like a, not a myth per se, but one of those, oh, this once happened one night that people pass around in bars and laugh about. It didn't really happen, obviously. I mean, who could rob the bank of some place so prestigious, so powerful?
Did she read it in Unsolved Mysteries?
Where did you read it? You heard about it from your father, who just heard about it in general during his work time. He passed it on when you were bonding at one point. Anywho, are you guys going to try and get out of the fail rune? Or let Kitlak drive you out of the fail rune? Are you going to examine any of the other items? Are you just going to hold on and pray?
Shay put Cassie in first so that they have to babysit.
Fair.
Yeah, and Cassie already tried, so good luck with that.
You know?
Cassie, you're the artificer, right?
That would be correct.
Do you use artificer tools? Yeah, of course you do. That's a dumb question.
Yeah.
All right, you can
I was
use
gonna say.
either your artificer tools or your investigation to examine the inside of this machine for a moment.
I forget how to calculate artificer tools. Do you remember?
You add your proficiency, and I believe it's your spellcasting, so intelligence for this one.
All right, so that would be a +9. That would be a 22.
I'm sorry, what was it?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am not thinking. That would be a +7. That would be a net or a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, you can. Fortunately, you don't have to breathe, so you do provide extra time in here. But between the four of you, you think, minus you not needing to breathe, there's about a little over 3 hours of air in this place before it needs to stop and re-oxygenate.
If I remember correctly, though, from last time, didn't Kitlak leave the side windows open?
Yes, he did. He left all the sliders open.
Mm-hmm. But they're still glass. Like it just gives you visual. There's like no open air holes or anything. It is sealed windows.
Oh, I misunderstood then.
Yeah, it's windows and window shutters. So only the shutters move. The windows are permasealed.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. I just misunderstood.
Yep. No, that's okay. So you know you have about 3 hours before you probably all need to stop and let the thing air out. You don't know how long reoxygenating will take. Maybe you can upgrade it, maybe you can't. You don't know, but yeah. What is the speed of this thing? It is 30 feet. Okay, good to know. So it moves as fast as you guys do.
Just so you are all aware, I mean, I don't need to breathe, but the rest of you may want to know that the air in here only lasts about 3 hours.
Kitlak's going to pop the rear door open. Like, can he jimmy the lever a little bit so it only pops open a crack?
You can try. Roll me. I'm gonna say your artificer's tools in this case.
Kitlak is not an artificer.
I know.
All right,
So,
so that's just a straight intelligence for him.
Yep.
It's gonna be could you like slide a hand or something? I feel like that would work. Whatever. It's a 22 anyway.
With a 22, you try and jimmy the lever so the doors open just a little bit, and you find the lever does not allow that. Everything, these are absolute levers. They either open or close or neutral. Um, you can try driving with the door open, but you saw how disastrous that was last time.
Well,
Um,
yeah, that's only when you try and dig down. I think Kitlak isn't too concerned about that. Like he's gonna pop the door open in the back. Say, hold on, we're getting some fresh air.
right. Give me 1 second. Your speed gets reduced by 10 feet. And it is very noisy as the back of the door is just kind of dragged along the ground.
He's gonna. I thought the door popped open like a hatch, not drop. Whatever. So he's gonna do that for maybe like half a minute and then seal the door back up, just to like let
Alright.
everyone breathe.
All right. You have 3 hours. I mean, It's been like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I will say though, Cassie, make me another investigation or artificer check.
That is a 19.
You weren't really paying attention before because you were a little more worried about Genevieve. Also, you weren't inside the machine. But you see some damage on the door. You realize that driving while it's open does damage the machine. It may come to the point where it damages the door, where it either won't close, won't open, or just falls off. In meta terms, the total hit points has been reduced by 6.
Okay. Well, Kitlak's not gonna do that again.
Again, Cassie
Yeah,
knows this. You
let's
don't.
not do that. Let's not drive around with the hatch open. I don't think that's a very good idea. You're already compromising the structural integrity of this vehicle.
Well, if you say so, Kitlak says he's kind of distracted by everything else.
I mean, I basically am a vehicle for myself. I should know.
So you travel down the corridors. The farther away you get from the lava stream, the darker it gets. Would you like to flick on the lights?
I mean, Kitlak already did that. I think he
He
had
turned
the
them back
lights
off.
on. Yeah, I thought he turned it back on. Anyway, Kitlak, yeah, we'll turn on the lights if they are off.
Okay, give me 1 second. Doggy wants in. Every time. Anyways, you enter the tunnels, and yeah, it's a bit of a. It's not a maze per se. The crab car does fit rather nicely, actually. There's about a foot. Yeah, a foot between the edge of the machine and all the walls. And if there weren't, you could probably dig enough space. Roll me your survival or navigation.
Navigation's not a thing. You talking
Navigator's
navigator's
tools.
tools?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Kitlak's got 1 survival. He's gonna guidance himself though.
Okay.
Does it have land vehicle or anything like that?
Well, let's see. No, absolutely not. Why would he have that? That is a 7.
7. Okay. You drive around. You follow the tunnels. You follow Shay's recommendation of always turn left, or always take the left-hand tunnel. So you take the left-hand
Mhm.
tunnel. You take a left-hand tunnel. You take a left-hand tunnel. You're back in the lava river cave.
Shay, is there a perhaps different path that we can take?
Can't you just dig through the wall?
I
Just go straight?
don't like the structural integrity implications of digging through walls.
Isn't that what this thing does?
You know, it does, but I don't want to tempt fate. Let's put it that way.
Well, then just take right-hand turns.
Okay. Kitlak is going to ignore that advice.
Okay.
Kitlak is going to follow the left wall, is what he's going to do. Not just take left-hand turns, but follow the left wall. So when it hits to a dead end, then he's going to follow that wall. Well, is that what he did already, actually, with the left-hand turns? Was it like a pillar situation?
It's not quite pillars. It's like in the upper floors where there were places to turn and places to not turn. In this case, it just appears down here the caves do circle back.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know if right turn would be better. You don't know if there's a bit of a trick to it. But it's not necessarily a pillar thing. It's just, you need to choose which roads to take. You've now taken all the left ones, and
Can
apparently all the left turns are a circle.
can Shay? Is there like a windshield type thing?
Yeah, there's a windshield in front of Kitlak that he's
And
launching and piloting.
can Shay see it from the back of the bus? Enough to also she also has navigator's tools to give the help action.
If let's see. How tall are you, Shay? I know you're small, but how tall are you?
3 foot.
And how tall are you, Cassie?
Give me just a moment. Let me look that up. That is 2 foot 4 inches.
And Kitlak, you're about the same, right? Or are you tall for a kobold?
Kid likes about the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say you can stand on your tippy toes and take a look out and help help Kitlak. Yeah. Alternatively, you could stand on Genevieve and help Kitlak. One of the two.
Up. She's not standing on Genevieve.
Just wanted to give you the option.
I mean, that's always an option, isn't it?
Depends what form she's in. Alright, so you're going to try going down the tunnels again, Kitlak?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, navigation or survival, apparently with help this time.
Okay, survival it is, also with guidance. Turning his GPS on. It's better. That's better. That's better. That is 22.
With a 22, you do figure out to go left and then right, and then left, left, another right, and you get to a new chamber. This one has 3 different tunnels. One seems to be at an angle up, one seems to be on an angle down, one seems to go into darkness. You don't know what's beyond it. The light is not penetrating.
Fascinating.
You can do a survival, you can do an investigation, you can do a navigation check, you can
Would,
throw someone out to check it out.
So Kitlak's gonna do a quick like 360 with the lights on, just to like scan the lights over everything. And I guess he's going to.
The lights are a radius, surprisingly enough.
Oh,
Even though
really?
they're from
Interesting.
Drystock, yeah.
Okay, so he's not going to do that then. I just kind of assumed they were like headlights.
Yeah, me too, but it does say a 30-foot radius.
Yeah, neato. So they're like omnidirectional floodlights. That's neato.
Yeah.
All right. Kitlak would he still have advantage if he was doing survival?
If Shay is still helping.
Shay.
Yeah. Can I use
Guidance.
prestidigitation to create a mark outside the crab car?
Crit with the max on the D4 as well.
Let me take a look at prestidigitation real quick. You have to be within 10 feet. You are not within 10 feet. At the moment. Since you're looking at all 3 potential tunnels, you're about 20 feet back so that you can see all 3 options. With a nat 20, down... How am I going to do this? Something in your kobold hindbrain, something that occasionally rears its head when you're underground, which isn't very often, tells you down is a trap. Down is obvious. Down is supposed to lead you out, which means down is where death is. Up makes no sense because up would lead you to goats or possibly exiting, somewhere mid-mesa, and then you'd fall to your death. And yet, that's where your brain is telling you to go. Black, you do not want to enter a black wall anything right now because that's where that last creature was, and you do not want to go through anything like that with your new crab car. Unless you want to put the crab car through a potential battle. Probably.
Yeah, not feeling that right now. The combat capabilities of this thing aren't nothing, but they're also not something he really wants to explore.
All right. So yeah, your hindbrain is saying go up, even though logic dictates don't.
Okay. He will go up then.
You take the slight left and go up the tunnel, and it kind of twists and turns, and then you reach a dead end. But this was the right way to go. What do you do? What should you do? By now, an hour has passed.
This was the right way to
Just a
go.
heads up. Just a heads up. Been a little while. Did we want to refresh our air?
Oh, yes, good idea. Kitlak is going to open the door while he ponders this, but not leave it open when he's moving. So he's going to close it before he moves the next time.
Okay.
He's also going to, while he's pondering this, he's going to do another survival.
Would anyone like to get out and explore the cavern?
No, Cassie is very much intent on doing her best to rein in Kitlak if needed, and keep an eye on Genevieve, make sure she's
Now,
okay.
Why would you need to do that? That's what I want to know. Yeah,
He can
Kitlak,
be a
you'd
little
say.
eccentric at times.
What? One of my characters eccentric? No. Kitlak gets a 12, by the way.
12. Your kobold hindbrain is itching like crazy, but it's instinct and knowledge are two different things. Instinct told you where to go. Knowledge is not helping you at this very moment, just yet.
Anyone have
Shay,
any ideas? Kitlak's going to look around.
If you think this is the way, this thing can dig, correct?
Yes. Kitlak says it's just something in my brain, that kind of kobold tunnel-y part of it.
Yes, I do recall that. It's not as strong as it used to be, but I do recall it.
Shay, would you like to do anything?
Take a long rest.
I meant while the car is stopped, did you want to exit and examine the chamber? Did you want to just kind of rest? Did you want to make a comment? Did you want to
Like and
reveal any
subscribe.
secrets? Right, so, yeah. You're
Alright.
all set. If you'd like to figure out your next move, you're at you're in a dead end chamber. What you are in is it is like one of those dirt chambers up above, where it just seemed to there is a path out. There are walls all about 20 feet around you. Um, Looks like there's been a little cave in, a little uh, erosion from time. That's about what you can see from inside. Anyone can roll anything if you give me a reason or justification.
I think Kitlak's gonna let's see what he has to roll. He's just staring at this whole thing, pondering it. What would be good for him? I guess I guess insight, but that still is about the same as my survival. You know what? He'll try it again. I'm assuming that Shay is still helping with the navigator's tools.
Sure.
I mean, that is a 8, so that's not exactly good.
Shay, go ahead and give me an insight since you are helping with the navigator's tools.
Ah, woof.
You've got it. The reason you can't figure it out is you have to dig straight down. You can share that thought or not. Cassie, would you like to roll anything?
I cannot think of any way that she can contribute right now. She's familiar with robotics. Her concentration is kind of split between two other places right now, but not really with navigation.
Kitlak,
Mm-hmm.
your hindbrain is telling you there's something here. You just can't focus on it. Your instincts were right once. You just need to find them again. So, how about a deal? I'll
No.
let you delve
No.
into those instincts.
No.
No? Okay.
No. Kidlack's gonna roll that survival one more time, and this time he's gonna do it with a D10 stuck on there.
Okay. Where's the D10 from?
It's from his. Oops, I didn't get the D10 down. Well, I guess I need to see the result first. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a D10 involved. It's from his. It's the new fighter thing. Okay, well
Oh,
that isn't helpful. That's not helpful. Come on. Come
it
on.
hasn't stopped rolling, so I don't know. Oh, ooh.
That's not helpful. Yeah, that is just a flat 10. It only expends if it's successful. Yeah, it's his tactical mind is what it is.
Yeah, that is still not a success.
He's just beating his head at this. Essentially, there's got to be a way. I know it. Oh, did I close his character sheet? Oopsie. In frustration. Hell with this.
Shay, would you like to try anything else? Or share your idea? Or.
Yeah, if we dig straight down, we'll eventually get to the other side of the asteroid.
Isn't straight down like bad? Didn't Kitlag figure that out?
Taking the path down was bad. That was probably a trap.
Or we dig straight up and we get a pop out of the plateau.
Well, it's as good a bet as any. I think straight down. I don't know. It's not what my instincts are telling me.
How big is the asteroid?
But straight up is a possibility.
How big is the asteroid?
The asteroid is way too big for that. You three would run out of air before we reach the other side.
Anyone other than Kitlak may roll insight. However, for you, Shay, it would be with disadvantage.
Nope, time for Cassie to save the day.
Yep. I think the brain trust is pretty exhausted on this one.
Well, what am I rolling it on? What is the question I'm rolling?
You're trying to figure out which path to take. We have a suggestion for straight down through the end of the asteroid, a suggestion for straight up through the top of the asteroid, or to the top of the mesa, rather. And
Are we still
sitting there frustrated?
Are we still in the vicinity of the mesa?
You're still in the mesa, yeah.
Good.
Alright, you said this is insight?
Yep.
That would be a 16.
A
Better than what we were
16.
getting.
16. You are thinking over there. You see Kitlak and Shay trying to figure out navigator's tools on how to dig up and not, pop out the side of the mesa and fall to your death. Or is it possible to dig down, and how far? I mean, you pointed out that they would run out of air, but at the same time, would they really? There's got to be a place to just free fall if they find the right place. And you're looking at it, and you notice the map of the first level just kind of sticking out of Shay's belongings. Do you pull out the map of that first level?
Cassie is going to make a cough sound. I mean, she doesn't really need to cough.
Gears grind in your
Okay.
general vicinity.
Shay,
Mm-hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a map sticking out there?
Yeah, I have a map of the upper levels.
Do you think that might help figure out exactly which direction we can go? We might not be on the upper levels, but it will kind of give us an idea of the layout of this mesa.
We would need to know where we are currently.
Quite true.
She'll hand the map to
Do you kind
Cassie. If you can make heads or tails of it, sure.
I guess Cassie is going to try.
Just FYI, Cassie, you've reversed your vocals. Your normal voice is for Cassie's speech, and your altered voice is for Cassie's descriptions.
That's weird. No.
Anyway, Cassie, you examine the map. Make me one more insight check.
Sure thing, and it should be fixed now.
Yep, there we go. That's your normal voice. Wow.
What a series of rolls. Can Kitlak roll again? I'd
Yeah,
like Kitlak to roll again.
yeah. Now that the map is out, I will say Kitlak can roll again. In insight, however.
That's
Since you
cool.
did hear.
Not advantage.
Jesus Christ on a cracker. Kitlak's gonna add that D10 again.
Okay.
Hopefully it gets a 10 or something, and
I
nope,
will say-
it doesn't.
I will say this time the threshold is a lot lower to meet. So what's your total there, Tyler?
Like 12. I don't know.
Okay, you actually had to meet 10 in this case. So
Cool. Love
Um,
it.
you're examining the map. You're trying to figure out how to figure out where you are relative to its position, and you notice the marks that were made on it to indicate the hidden passages. Hidden passages in dead-end rooms. This is a dead-end room. Oh, there might be a hidden passage in here somewhere.
Ba ba ba.
And yet another reason I rarely put puzzles in games.
Yeah, imagine
It
that.
Do not like. Do not like.
I mean, I didn't even realize there was a puzzle. I thought we were just going.
It's a small puzzle. It should have been an easy puzzle.
One would
Anyway,
think, but
you would have to probably get out to examine the walls, but you know how their secret passages work. There's either a hidden stone, something that's an optical illusion, or just a pure magical illusion that you have to identify.
yeah, Kitlak's gonna scrabble out of the thing and just like kind of push his way through everybody awkwardly.
Kitlak's gonna open the back and shoot.
Yeah. He pops the back open first. Well, the back's been open because they're
Yeah, you are reoxygenating.
And he is going to kind of poke around a little bit, like try and search. I guess investigation, right?
It's an investigation, and you've done this twice, so I'm going to say this one is with advantage.
Oh, cool. Well, he rolled guidance on that as well. Good that it's with advantage. My God. Okay, that's much nicer. So that is 14. What's his investigation? That is a 17.
17. You find a little to the right where it feels like rock until it feels like illusionary rock. So you now know this is the other side. Somewhere there is a way to force your way through. It was not pleasant. It was slightly painful. But there is an illusionary wall here. It's possible that the crab car can force its way through, although it might take some damage. Or you could try and force your way through, or Shay could try and force her way through, or Cassie could try and force her way through.
I mean, Kitlak is a hands-on kind of guy. I think he's going to try and force his own way through.
Right. Make me strength athletics to push through this illusion.
Guidance. He's just a little guy. That's a 12.
With a 12, you are going to get your hands and your head through, and okay, slightly stuck. You might need to make another roll. And also, this hurts. Yikes.
Ow,
Make me
ow,
another
ow,
roll.
ow, ow. Just a little guy. Clap, clap. Gets a 19.
Perfect. That you pop through. You take 5 force damage from your body kind of being compressed into the form of a stone for a moment as you were stuck. And you reach the other side. And this is okay. It's not quite as wide a tunnel. You may need to use some of those claws to dig. It's only about 5 feet wide. Obviously, this dead end chamber was not meant to be used for mass evacuations or anything, but you do see that it leads to a downhill path, and there is light at the end of that tunnel.
Ooh. Metaphor.
But it is a long path, however, so you could walk through it. That's about, I would say, let's say it's about 100 feet. But the fact that you're seeing light means you're probably near the surface, or there's another lava river. One of the two. And yes, you can find the button to deactivate it. You know what to look for.
Yeah, Kitlak's going to start with that, and then he's going to go back to Crab Car and drive it forward.
All right. Now, again, it is too narrow for Crab Car. Are you going to activate the digging function?
Yeah, I think so. Just
Okay.
to try and, widen the area a little bit.
All right. You... Let's see. Which one was that? So it is 9, and you are kind of going down. You're also moving forward while you're going down, so you are aiming for an angle to follow the path. And yes, you do dig through. You are widening the path as you go. It's a bit of a slant. You feel everyone kind of push against your back. It's a steep slant. But the light is getting brighter.
That's good. That's great news. Love to hear
And
that.
soon enough, you find yourselves at the base of the Felrun Mesa. I need a tiny version of that, but in the meantime, we'll just use you. Approximately
Pretty cool. No?
there. So to start with, you started over here, you entered here, you went down. You don't know where that shadow thing was, somewhere around here probably, and you've ended up all the way here. That's pretty impressive, actually. You have a feeling that shadow you passed through might have been a lot longer than you think. Oh, it's a field. Really?
What's up?
Yeah, it's just all
It's the
white.
picture of the asteroid.
Grab him.
Yep.
There we go. Team, wait. Deputize me, please.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We go a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. There we go. There we go. Boom, boom, and drop. There we are.
So what you can figure out is there's probably a lot of fail room that you haven't yet gone through. There's probably still a lot more to explore through there somewhere, somehow. But you got out, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, Kitlak is going to argue the point that they found the best thing in there already, and thus they don't need to explore anymore.
Or ever return, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely enough, the Minotaur is there. He sees the crab car, and his eyebrows go practically off his forehead, and he's chewing on, it looks like a carrot, except it's radish red and a bit jaggedy. And that just kind of, he stops mid-chew as the crab car emerges. From what you can see is behind a very well, almost optical illusion-y boulder there.
Kitlak is going to wave at him out the window, and then he's going to breathe on the window, like very gently, like, fog up a portion of the window, and then write backwards, "We survived, bitch."
You notice, interestingly enough, the windows don't fog up.
Oh. Well, there goes that plan. He's just going to yell it really loud then.
Congratulations, you yell it to everyone inside. This is soundproof. Also
Is
surprising.
it now?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the air doesn't get in and out, so that makes sense.
Yep. And it does go in lava. You wouldn't want the windows to steam up in lava.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
So
they don't even need a defroster. That's great.
So yeah, he sees you yell something. He does. Let's see. Kobold lips. Kobolds don't have lips, do they?
I mean, they're
Can
weird
he
little
read
dragon
what
lips.
you're saying?
Weird little dragon lips? Probably not.
No. But he does get the word bitch.
Yep, that's
just from your body language.
That's the load-bearing word, really.
He's just gonna start slowly chewing again and amble over. Not quite sure what to do about this exactly.
Grab him. Grab him.
I don't want to make an attack against this guy. That's gonna hurt him.
Well, no, one hurts him. The other just grabs him.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still feel if like a giant crab machine grabbed me, I'd still fear for my life. I'm not gonna crab grab him. I'm not gonna pull that move.
Okay. Would you like to retract the claws, retract the legs, close the shutters?
Kitlak's going to retract the claws for now.
Okay. He's just going to kind of walk up to about 10 feet away from the window, squint at all three of you, and then slowly... It's actually... No, he wouldn't be able to look down, so he doesn't see Genevieve. He just sees three of you. Because Genevieve's lying down. This is hour 2, so she's still got 2 more hours before she wakes up.
Ruby.
So he's just going to finish his weird radish carrot, and then just kind of tilt his head and scratch his horn. Not quite sure what to do at this point.
I mean, did we want anything from this guy? I really don't think we did. Like, he is... anecdotal to us at best.
He was just following you. You can absolutely just
Yeah.
start walking back towards Mistmar.
Yeah, that's what Kivak's gonna do. He's gonna ignore this guy and just keep on
I mean,
going.
if he's been
Um,
if he's been scavenging, he might have something good.
Look, I'm not going to open this up and risk him getting in here.
Why would you open it up? Just grab him.
I'm not going to steal from him.
Now you
No,
have scruples.
That does sound very appealing, actually. Kivak's going to pause and be like, stealing. No, you have a point. You have a point. I don't know. I don't want to hurt someone with a crab claw. He hasn't actively tried to kill us. Look, he's no worse than like half the smugglers I've worked with.
Don't look at me. I don't care what happens to him either way.
He's finally going to get brave enough to walk up and just tap on the glass. It is a very subtle thump. Like you can bear. The only reason you can hear it is you're kind of expecting that noise. Um, and he does finally spot Genevieve in there, and he just pauses and then dumps the window again.
No, you're not getting a free ride.
Yeah, he can't hear you still. He will hold up one hand and cup his ear. I guess those are technically above the head. Cup his ear as if I can't hear you. The universal I can't hear you.
There's really got to be a flip somebody off lever on this thing. Where's Katrin when you need her?
You do have 6 legs to kick with.
Is there something? Is there something that you want to say to him?
No, I just want to leave him. Let's go. And
You
Kivak's
just
just going to
go.
forward march it away from this guy.
Okay.
I mean, at 30 feet, this guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
not
mean, he
even.
can keep up with us if he wants to.
Yeah, he is absolutely keeping up with you.
Just
He's
grab
kind
him.
of
Throw him in a
examining.
hole. Get rid of this guy. He's just gonna cause us trouble.
That is a nat one. Yeah, he's going to try and leap on top just as a leg lifts, and he'll end up inadvertently getting kicked back to the side as you're walking forward. Those
All
of
right.
you who are near the side window get to watch him fly about 10 feet away and land on his back.
If he gets anywhere near us again, Kitlak's going to grab him and follow Shay's advice.
It actually dazes him for a bit, so he's going to get up and start following again from a more discreet distance.
Yeah,
He thinks that was deliberate, so he's not going to risk it.
good.
Um,
Is he still within 60 feet?
yeah,
And are the shutters on the side windows still open?
I believe so.
Yeah, they are. I didn't close them.
All right. Cassie is going to. She's going to use her acid splash. It doesn't really come from the gun. That's just flavoring. It so you she creates an acidic bubble at a point within range. Doesn't even say that she needs to see it, but I'm assuming she's trying not to actually hit him. She's just going to make it appear in front of him, about 10 feet in front of him.
Okay. And that is a dexterity saving throw, right? Oh, it's a 5 foot
She's very
sphere, so
specifically, yeah, she's
yeah.
very specifically making sure that it doesn't hit him.
Okay. Yeah, you make an acid bubble that just kind of splashes on the path forward, and he pauses for a moment, not quite sure if that was from the machine or from something else, he's gonna take a look around and see if there's like another creature or something that you need to worry about, or that he needs to worry about. Since you guys are in a tin can that seems to be very strong. Um, yeah, so he's just going to follow at a distance. He's now behind you rather than parallel to you.
Just a little bit of technological, whatchamacallits. Doesn't need to make
Witchcraft.
sense.
Go ahead and make me an insight or an artificer's check, Cassie.
About what she just did?
No, about something else entirely.
Okay. Because I do have an actual explanation for that. Just won't happen for another level here. That is a 13.
It's there in your head and gone. You need to develop it more. You might be able to provide some sort of acid sprayer to this thing. Something to ponder. Anyways, it took about, I believe, well, Genevieve was using a fast speed, so it'll take you a while to get to Mistmar. So I'm going to say that Genevieve, you wake up after another 2 hours or so at 1 hit point, and feeling like you got run over by a giant metal spider.
Oy. I feel like I was steamrolled.
Inspiration.
That,
Yeah, you kind of got squished.
not inaccurate. By the way, you did get squished by our newest method of conveyance, though.
And what's this? Is this what was in the box?
Oh, yes. I'm calling her Crab Car.
We can think of a better name, but that's good enough for now.
We're on our way back to Mistmar.
Can Genevieve look out the window? Does it look like a crab, or does it look like a lobster?
It's a bit of both because it doesn't have the tail. Well, you can't see out the back. It's not moving like a crab. It is moving like a lobster. But
Also, the
it is,
claws are tucked in at the moment, so there is that as well.
yeah. For right now, it looks more like a very wide centipede more than anything else.
Why a crab? Looks more like a centipede to me.
Kitlak's going to pull the claws lever.
She
And the
looks
two
at it.
claws are going to pop out.
She looks at the claws. So it's a lobster car.
Crab car, thank you. It does not have a tail.
Exactly, it does not have a tail.
But it's not scuttling side to side like crabs do.
Look, it's going forward and back like cars do. It's a fusion of crab and car. Not sure what we don't get about this.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, if anyone knows what kind of animal this thing is made after, it would be Genevieve.
I'm just saying, if you're going to call it after an animal, it should at least move like the animal.
Well, it moves like a car. It looks like a crab, it moves like a car. Now, if we had something that looked like a car and moved like a crab, that would be a car crab. Whole different thing.
If it had a tail, it looked like a scorpion. Then moved like a scorpion. Oh, Cassie, could you give it a tail?
I could possibly do that. It would take some work and a lot of time.
Genevieve, roll me your nature.
Scrap metal.
Nature. Hold on.
What did they call it in the story? Cypher.
They call it
That's a 12.
12. You do know there are crabs that do move forward. They are not very common, but they do exist. You in the story, it was called the Inheritance of Kowalsh or something like that. But there were also some who just called it the metallic Renadine. I'm going to mispronounce this. Renindai, which is a crab that walks forward. It's also called the frog crab.
Yeah, in the story they called it the run and die. So, not very fortuitous name. So if we keep running it, we're gonna kill someone or die ourselves. I don't know. By the by, maybe
Or
pop
both.
the hatch so we can breathe a bit.
Oh, yes. He's going to stop. Is the Minotaur still around?
Still following at a discreet distance, although, well, actually, you cannot see behind, so you don't know.
All right. Kitlak is going
right.
to pop the hatch and then yell out an exploratory, "What the hells do you want?"
Mirrors.
No, I'm talking to the thing that might be outside. You know, the
No,
weirdo.
we need
Is once
we
again
need mirrors.
is once again scraping across the ground.
Oh no,
Um,
Kitlak stops the thing. He would
Okay.
stop it before he did that. He's not gonna. He's not a dummy. Not
That's
this
a pretty
character.
that's a pretty big flaw that this thing does not have mirrors to see behind it.
Well, you pop out of the mountain in something like that.
Sorcerer's
it's
Burst.
got a guy curious. You're going to sorcerer's burst him? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a
Jay's
attack
done
or
it, though.
saving throw? I forget.
Attack.
Okay, roll it.
I'm glad that one of
17.
I forgot about the entire breathing thing.
17. She'll make it acid to go with the.
Yeah, that'll
Cassie's thing.
absolutely. Let me actually make a quick dexterity check. Yeah, that'll absolutely hit.
Hmm, 8 points of acid damage.
Something special happen on an 8?
Oh, it does. I get to roll it again.
Hell yeah, mess him up.
$14.
14 acid damage. Yeah. Malkill, write that down. An inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Then
Double
kudos.
inspiration.
You send a sorcerer's burst their way. It shifts in colors and designs. He tries to pull something out, but it hits him before he can, and he just looks at why? And he starts. He's not melting, but he does kind of just fall down for a moment, and
Stop
not
following
again.
us.
Don't
Maybe-
kill him over it.
Maybe I'm going home.
Find a different way home.
There's one path to Mistmar.
You were fine not going home until we showed up.
Yeah, my orders were to follow you.
Who gave you those orders?
Oh, Becky.
Not
been
young
over this.
Becky.
That's an insight check there.
Go ahead and roll the insight.
No, 7.
I mean, that's what he said before, so probably telling the truth.
Just go away.
It's in your
Well-
best interest.
Considering I need to heal, yeah.
See, like I said, best interest.
You think she might have some words for trying to melt her favorite nephew?
She's going to cast Prestidigitation to make it look like another acid attack is coming at him.
Let's see.
She might need to get a better nephew, or another nephew after this.
Oh, father, no. That one he did good enough dexterity. He is going to yank out something from his pocket and just start chewing on it.
I mean, she wasn't actually trying to hit him with
He
Prestidigitation.
didn't figure that out. He's waiting for the attack to hit.
Mage Hand, the carrot.
It wasn't the carrot. It wasn't a carrot.
Or whatever.
You didn't see what he ate.
Okay.
He
If
just
it-
yanked something out and shoved it in his mouth.
Can she try to pick his pocket to see if he's got any more of that?
What's the range of Mage Hand?
30 feet.
Yeah, he is about 80 feet away from you. He was getting closer till you splashed him with acid.
Just leave him alone. Close the door again.
You know, we could just burrow down for a little bit and then pop back up elsewhere.
Got a point. And Kitlag is going to
mean,
dig into the
he-
earth.
He does know where we're going. And do we want to take a long rest before we go back to Mistmar? Or do we want a long rest in Mistmar?
Actually, Kitlag's going to close the door first before he
Oh,
digs
good.
into
I was
the
about
ground.
to ask.
Yeah, he learned his lesson on that one.
Are you just going to burrow straight down?
Cassie,
No,
can-
he's gonna do it while he's walking forward.
Cassie, can you make it so that when this thing moves, it automatically closes the door first?
That would be really nice. I feel like that'll solve a lot of problems.
I can certainly try, but once again, I will need time for that. At the very least, I'd probably make it so it won't move as long as the door is open.
Yeah.
That's better.
All right, you burrow into the ground. How far down are you going? The initial departure down is, I believe, 20 feet. So it's a 20 feet tunnel under the ground, I believe. Yeah. And then do you want to move straight or do you want to keep going down?
I mean, he knows where we're going.
Yeah, Kilag's just going to go straight. Like he knows the general direction of Mistmar, so he's gonna go straight.
All right. You do hear some noises behind you after you get past that first 10 feet. Genevieve, now that you're awake, you can roll nature. Everyone else can roll nature with. Would anyone else know?
Or are there tremors? We should,
Kidlak
have tremors.
would not necessarily know this sound inside a tin can. So yeah, everyone else just roll nature with disadvantage or insight.
Good
Everyone
beans.
or-
Insight straight?
Insight straight, yeah, probably would be the alternative.
Everyone roll
Okay.
with disadvantage, or is Genevieve rolling
Genevieve
straight?
would know this sound, so no, you're fine.
Okay, so that's 25.
Okay, and what did everyone else get?
That is a 18 for Kitlag on insight.
4.
That is a 16 for Cassie.
So everyone except Shay, either because they know nature and they've hung out with it, or there's again some hindbrain knowledge of this. After that first 10 feet in the tunnel, you hear the tunnel behind you collapsing almost immediately after you dig through it.
Oh, that's fine.
Shay, all you hear are just weird noises behind your machine.
I mean, to be fair, that's what Cassie had expected because that's what she observed when Kitlak first dug down while they were in the cave.
Fair enough. Yeah. So would anyone like to update Genevieve about what's going on or anything else?
Well, there's not a whole lot to tell you since you passed out there, Genevieve. You got squished by the crab. We put you in here, and then we found our way out.
Cher relate the story that she knows about the crab car. Not the crab car.
The
The
theft.
the lobster / scorpion car.
Grand Theft Crab Car.
Genevieve will, after listening to the story, kind of look at the others and go, "Do you think it's a good idea to be rolling this thing into Mistmar? They might be interested in it."
We could get in. Do people get arrested per se on the asteroid by?
Oh, in let's see. So in Rivishold and Sulatar and the Citadel of Promise, absolutely. In the Crimson Plateau, occasionally. No one, and in Walk's End, yeah. But no one's really quite sure. Again, this is more of a legend than. I mean, the bank would probably insist upon you being arrested because they will absolutely have records of this. The Bank of the Plateau is supposedly run by a dragon. Dragons do not forget their inventory. But to everyone else, it'd be just like, oh, it's inspired by the story. It would take 6 to 1, half dozen to the other, really. Some would believe it's the real thing and would, yeah, you'd get in trouble. Some, if you delivered it back, you might get a reward. Or if you could find a way to disguise it, you might be able to keep it. And just say, hey, we built this or traded it or found it.
So just to put it out there, if the stories are true, this thing is hot.
And in fairness, so is everything else that was found with it.
Oh, it's not the sort of thing you can't lie your way out of.
Shay and
Yeah, we could try.
Cassie, do roll me either an insight or an artificer's check. Your choice.
I will do an artificer's. That is a 14.
13 insight.
Genevieve did make a good point. There may be interest in this from Mistmar, or who knows what other parties might be interested in it. But you know what else you found in that mesa?
Mm-hmm.
You found that broken Spelljammer helmet. If you could connect the two.
We could turn Crab Car into a Spelljammer?
No, but you could make sure it's only controlled by someone who has the helmet.
I say we sell it.
No.
Yes. Do you know how much we would get for this thing?
Probably a lot.
Would you like to try and figure out how much you would get for it?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how difficult it would be to take this away from Kitlak?
Shay, I'm going to say just roll me a straight up intelligence or wisdom check on this.
Let's go wisdom. That's a 16.
The right buyer, you could easily raise 40, 50,000 gold. Hell, you find the right collector, you could double it.
Yeah, we should really think about selling this. We could get a ton of gold, upwards of 100,000 gold.
It is a lot of gold.
How much does a Spelljammer go for?
Well, that depends. If you're talking about the one that Shay has, the assumed cost is 20 or 30,000, but that was a couple months ago. Who knows now?
Well, also, we've
Um,
never seen Shay's supposed Spelljammer.
True. Let's see. For other Spelljammers, oh, you think they'd have a nice cost here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Smaller Spelljammer ships start at 20,000. Larger ones or more specialized ones usually uh, start at 40 and go up. The really fancy ones you can get 50, 60. And an attack ship, easily 50. But no crab car.
Wouldn't need a crab car if we had our own Spelljammer.
Kit
Of
like
course, you could
grumbles
always
to himself.
upgrade the crab car to be a shuttle, but where's the fun in that?
It's also way
You're
too
not-
small,
you're-
just in
you're-
general.
It is kind of small.
Roll me your history, Shay.
Seven.
7? Yeah, the bank would probably reward you 50,000 gold. Easy. You're returning lost property. They'll absolutely let you walk up with that.
Kitlak is going to pull us above ground for a little bit just to check where we're at.
You're still about another 5 hours from Mistmar. And it is. I'm going to say you did 3 hours underground, so you do need to refresh. And I'm going to say, in general, it takes 15 minutes to fully reoxygenate the crab car.
Okay, he's gonna stop and then let everyone breathe for 15 minutes and then proceed.
Of course, Genevieve's concern is apt. If someone else snags the crab car while you're at Mistmar, well, they get the prize money, not you.
I'm just saying it might be a good idea to keep this under wraps and not waltz in with it. Especially if it
You-
is a famous tale.
You may be having a point. Kitlak
Well,
says.
nephew over there is going to tell him about it. We should have.
And then we
grabbed
just
him.
say that he's insane and he's full of lies. Like, look at that guy. He looks like he's been out here for a while. This kind of place does things to your mind.
Genevieve, you think back on Mistmar. Yeah, he's been out here a while. So does everyone who lives in Mistmar. They all kind of look like that, if not a little worse. Maybe
Well, he's
occasionally
also-
prettier.
Well, he's
yeah,
got
I don't know if they
acid
believe.
scorched stuff.
I don't know if they'd believe that he's just crazy.
Maybe dodge Mistmar then. But we have the skull to return.
Can we see when we're oxygenating? Can we look for him?
You don't see him.
How about you just drop me off and then stay away for a minute with the car.
Sounds good. I can stay with the car and retreat if necessary. I can honestly just hide underground most of the time and keep moving.
Want some company, Genevieve?
I mean, I'm the one that made the deal. I don't see why I would need necessarily anyone else with me. But if you want to go.
She'll go with it.
All right. So the question is, do you want to leave from here? It's 5
Oh,
hours by foot, 5 hours by crab car. You can see the edge of Mistmar easily enough.
I mean, well, Genevieve, how long have they been traveling after Genevieve woke up?
It's only been about 4 hours. So short rest if you'd want it.
Short rest. Okay, because that would reset her wild shape. So she could actually get back there pretty quick before the crab car ever got close. So, because she can shift into wild shapes that move faster than this crab car.
Yeah, much as I like Crab Car, I think we might have to sell this thing. I think it's more of a liability than it's worth, tragically.
Yeah, and there's also the scroll that says "Do not open in every language imaginable. We will kill you."
That's not a liability.
Alright, so let me get my short rest in, maybe get a few more hit points back if I have any hit dice to spare. I have 2 hit dice. Let's see, 1d8 plus 2.
Have you spent any hit dice today yet?
I've spent 1. And I have 3 available, so I'm going to use my other 2.
Where did we get temporary hit points?
So you got the
believe
temporary
that-
hit point.
Sorry, you got the temporary hit points from. Were you close enough to get the temporary hit points? Yes, you were.
Mhm.
It was while we were waiting for Genevieve to
Plus 4, so that would actually be 15.
wake up.
Come back to
Or no,
life.
wait,
The first time.
come back to life. That's yeah. So Cassie had her arcane cannon out, the one that did the shielding, and that's where you got
I
it from.
don't need that. Okay.
And so those will last until the end of our long rest, whenever we get that.
How fast were the demon goats? They moved pretty quick, right?
Yeah, they had 50 or 60, 40 to 60 movement. I'd have to double check. They are not a creature you can. I don't. Oh, actually, let me check. You might be able to.
If not, she'll just shift into an elk.
I can't remember which book they were in. Hold on. Let me find my notes. Let's see. Let me find my other notes. Here.
I was just curious if that was something I could shift into and if it was faster than the elk.
Let me see. I think it was in that book, so hold on. Yeah, it's a non-standard creature, so it's
Don't worry about it. She'll shift in. Before she shifts, she's gonna look at Cassie and say, "Can I?" Because if I recall correctly, we put the crystal skull in your bag, right?
Yes, actually you did. Here you go.
Cassie is going to pull that out and hand it to her.
And Genevieve will stick it into her own bag because her stuff will shift with her. So the crystal skull will be safe.
Speed of 45 feet, and
Nope,
it is a monstrosity.
It's slower than the elk. So she will just look at Shay and just say, "Do you have anything to hang on to me with? If you fall off, I'm not going to come back for you."
I think her rope got destroyed. Is that right? Or we had one left.
I think you had one rope left out of the four of you.
Are
I
you
don't think Genevieve has used her rope yet.
sorry? Are you elk or sheep?
Elk.
Okay.
Cassie has not used her rope yet either.
Okay.
Does anyone have a rope I could borrow?
I think Kitlag has one.
Yes.
Nope, yours got
No.
cut off in
Yeah,
the shadow
Kitlag
wall.
does. Yep, that he did. Lost his.
Yes, but I either expect it back or one like it. They do come in quite a bit of use, I would say.
That they do. Thank you. Oh, can I have that coin pouch back too? I need it. We might need it. I'm not sure. Unless you're planning on selling it while we're away. Because if we do sell it, we probably will need this coin pouch.
I don't have any reason not to hand it over. Here you go, Genevieve.
Okay, and she will make a.
No, I did say Genevieve.
Oh.
I believe
Sorry.
she merges with her form when she is traveling. It's a little bit safer that way.
Genevieve nods and sticks it into her bag. She'll look at Kitlag and Cassie and just say, "If you want to wait for us just outside of Mistmar, we'll join back up with you as soon as we can. Just hide it somewhere in the rocks or burrow down for a little while."
Kitlag says, "Aye, aye."
I can do. With just the two of us, we don't have to worry about air for only 3 hours. Should last
10.
quite a bit longer.
Thank you.
Yes, it should last about 10 hours, I would say.
Well, you may as well get some rest. I don't know when we'll be getting back, but you may as well at least try to get yourself a long rest if we're not back quickly.
You as well, if you could manage it. You could really use it, you know.
I haven't had this much fun in a while.
Cassie's just gonna roll her robotic shoulders.
Genevieve will climb out, and then she will make sure that everything is stowed properly in her bag, and put her bag on her back, and then shift, and all of her gear shifts with her.
Shay will make a harness, I guess. Not choking her.
I believe it was either animal hand. I think it was a sleight of hand to make a rope harness last time.
Oh, 6.
Well, you made a cat's cradle, which should be impossible, and yet somehow you did it. Everyone may point and laugh at Shay if they'd like, or they may help.
No. Kitlag's gonna try and help.
Are you going to roll instead of him this time? Or instead of her this time?
I would prefer that she rolled. I don't think Kitlag's going to be that helpful. Well,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
do have to
You
step
can
away
always
from your
let me
controls for a
help.
moment.
Oh, that's a good point. Kitlag is going to stay glued to the controls.
You can always let me help. I do have a little bit of experience with building things.
Okay. She'll hand her the rope.
Alright.
Is Cassie going to be making this roll straight or with advantage?
Is someone helping her?
I'm not sure she can after that roll.
Oh no, on the one you wouldn't be able to. Now you're helping. You're just like the child helper who might be able to provide assistance, or you might muck it all up in the end. One of the two.
Sure.
But yes, you can provide help. Tyler, could you send me the list of all of the goodies that came with the apparatus?
Uh,
I told you to write them
sure.
down.
You did.
Oh.
Here we are.
So that's not completely awful. That's an 11.
An 11? Okay, you've got a harness. If for any reason Genevieve trips and falls, Shay might go flying, but it'll probably get her there just fine.
Thank you.
That should work. You are welcome. And that should work. Just be careful. If it starts to slip, make sure that you tighten it up.
And do you think you can help me get on top?
Genevieve will just bend down.
Thank you.
All right. Genevieve, what is your speed?
50 feet.
Are you going to be trotting or dashing?
Dashing.
All right. This should be a fairly easy strength athletics to make it.
With the elk stats. That's a +5.
In all honesty, you just have to not roll a 1.
Well, now you've gone and jinxed it.
Mm-hmm.
7, so that's a 12.
Yeah, no, you don't trip for the first part of that journey. As the shadows increase, the closer you get to Mistmar, roll me 1 more.
How long does this take?
So in the crab car or walking, it would have taken 5 hours. This is only going to take you about 3.
Because she can only wild shape twice. And they last for an hour.
Oh, okay. So if it's only... Well, last time you went... You were doing 50 feet last time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Now it still took you
non-nat
a while
20.
to get to the mesa. But with a non-nat 20 and that, you know what? I'll say it cuts it down. I'll say it cuts it down to 2 hours. So you get 1 hour, basically zooming through, and then 1 hour in human form, which is not bad actually.
Okay.
Give me 1 moment. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Yes, you arrive at Mistmar. Once again, there are satyrs and centaurs that are kind of guarding the perimeter. One of the centaurs that, again, they look a little slightly more monstrous than the average centaur, which is still a little off-putting, Genevieve. And this one's tail is a little blurry. You can't quite focus on what it looks like. But he approaches and kind of huffs at both of you and then looks at you, Genevieve, expectantly.
Did Genevieve have something?
You do have that petrified bark with the
Yes.
contract still. It's just a little more glowy.
Yeah, Genevieve is going to pull that out. We're here to see old Becky again.
Lets out a grunt and then kind of moves to the side and indicates that you two should walk.
She'll walk.
All right. You approach the village once more. It is the same as last time, a bit of twilight. The market seems to be a little more active. This seems to be earlier in the day, which is, I mean, it's always shadowed here, so earlier in the day is just, by internal clock more than anything else. Give me 1 second here. Tyler, get ready to do work again.
Oh, goody. Get to earn my keep today. Nah, seems like I don't get to earn my keep. It's doing its thing.
Yeah, actually, we'll go ahead and just leave that.
Do you want me to twist it and enlarge it?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
You are brought through again. The mushrooms are glowing. The trees have that strange fruit. And yeah, you are brought directly to old Becky's stall, where she is enjoying a drink of, well, whatever it is, you can smell it from 10 feet away, and it is potent and alcoholic.
That doesn't bother Genevieve all that much. She will sit down and then reach into her bag and
Now, darling, proper greetings. We, talk pleasure first, business second. You wouldn't want to ruin tradition, would you?
I think the only pleasure I'd take right now is a bit of a rest.
Well, I bet you've been quite busy. You certainly look a little worn out. Was it the goats or the cannibals?
The goats were easy enough. The cannibals we just kind of went over. They didn't bother us too much.
Yeah, with the tin can, I bet. So why don't you come in for a spell, and you can rest up on old Becky's couch, and then we can talk business after I get you a drink to cool. And what about you, little lady? You too?
Yeah, I too need a rest.
I meant to drink. Some refreshment. Hospitality has its meaning.
Sure.
Unless, of course, you're here to be part of the tribute to pay off the debt. And old Becky's going to get up and head into her little house. Do you follow?
Yes.
Mhm.
She will walk through the kitchen and lead you to kind of a living room, kind of a great room. There are couches, but there's also like a grand dining table. And there does appear to be refreshments already there, as if they were waiting for you. Help yourself. She's going to pour herself another glass of rot gut.
Is there
Your
any of
best guess.
the
Moonshine.
is there any blood clot pie? Is that what
There
it was called?
is.
Was that
Yep,
what?
she's
Okay.
got some of her famous blood clot pie right there.
She's gonna grab one of those. She'll grab one of those and something to drink.
There's sweet tea, sour tea, blood tea, green tea.
Green tea, I think.
All right. And Shay.
Yeah, she'll take some green tea.
All right. The blood clot pie is just as delicious as you remember, and it does provide you with 1 hit point.
Cool.
And she's going to take her chair and again do that small, strange sigil in the air, and you feel a bit of a wave of protection or something surround you. And well, now what have you brought old Becky? I mean, it's been almost a full day since you left. Well, actually, no, it'd be 1, 2. Been almost 3 days since you left. Can't have already gotten everything done.
No, not everything. But we went up to the plateau and we got what she wanted, I think. And
So you found something of interest?
she'll pull out the crystal skull.
What are your passive insights? Or perception, your choice.
Passive insight and perception are the same. It's all 14 for Genevieve.
Yeah, 14 insight for Shay.
Okay. Yeah, you both notice her eyes just kind of turn red for a moment before well, now that just the fanciest skull I ever seen. What sort of monster did you pluck that out of?
We didn't pluck this one out of a monster, but we definitely had to fight off a monster just to get it.
Oh, well, now that's interesting. And other than being so fancy, what sort of skull is it?
Genevieve will look over at Shay.
A crystal one.
Well, yes, I can see that, but other than, is it simply well done art? Which, art is always lovely, especially one with such delicate work, but ain't worth the dirt on this asteroid.
Identifying magical items is not my forte.
Oh, you're saying it's mine, darling?
I'm just saying it's not mine. But it looked pretty special given that it was being watched over. What was the creature?
It looked like a Neolithid? Neolithid, I think they're called. Hold on.
Neolithid, I believe, is what it's called.
Neolithid. Yeah.
Neophalid?
Yeah.
She'll just say, she'll say that. She'll say, it feels like it's pretty important since it was being watched over by a Neolithid.
You kind of, at that point,
Kind of a mouthful.
she was kind of rocking back and forth in her chair, and the rocking just stops mid motion, which is weird because the chair was rocking, she wasn't rocking it. I'm sorry, darling. I thought you said something with a thalid in it. Did you say something with a thalid in it?
I did.
This wasn't the skull in the thalid, it was guarding it.
It was guarding it, yes.
And what did this big thing look like?
She'll describe it.
Ah, I do believe you're the first person to ever come out the other side to tell us that there is something like that in there. I'm kind of surprised we ain't all gone mad and been fed to it by its urges.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it'll come in time.
yeah, there were a lot of skeletons in there.
She'll pull out a bit of her little bit of the chitin floor that she had
What
harvested.
and
Uh,
what would this be?
this one she does know. She'll say part of what was in there was this rather interesting flooring, and it almost felt alive. It was made out of this stuff. I think whoever used to be there, they weren't there anymore, but whoever used to live in those caverns made a pretty impressive display.
Yeah, no, if it's what I think it is, they do like their displays, and that worm does like to eat them. Um, Kinda explains why the colony failed. They're going to they're not reaching for either the skull or the bit of floor, but they are examining the bit of floor. Huh? You don't know that that is in a dormant state, right? You could wake it up.
I kind of wondered about that.
Might want to be careful. It could attract the wrong sort of attention.
So it's not worth anything to you.
Oh, it'd be worth to something. It'd be worth something to someone here, but I ain't looking to call that kind of trouble down. She pauses for a second. On the other hand, if you could fool old Mr. Tumnus into buying that, well, that would certainly be an interesting result.
And then I think she had a deck of cards or something, right?
Yes, you did find a magical deck of cards.
Then she will put that down on the table as well.
Oh, well, now look at this. A bit of magical card. Oh, she's going to pick those up actually pretty easily and brings back the days of my daughter and dealing cards with the wrong people. And she's just gonna shuffle the cards in that fancy Vegas style shuffling. Never knew where she learned the card tricks, but did 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 good enough to get invited to the big tree. Haven't seen her since.
Well, I'm sure that the cards aren't worth as much as some of these other items,
Oh, the cards ain't worth jack, darling. But
but the
you know,
information.
oh, the information of what's in the mesa. Oh yeah, no, that might get me an audience with the Lord. And she's gonna finish shuffling the cards and then just set them back down. All yours, darling. All right, let's take a look at this. And she's going to ever so carefully pick up the skull. She braces herself. All right, not intelligent and not trying to possess me. Pretty good so far. And she's going to try and identify it. Let's see what she does. Well, she got a nat 20 there. She's going to stare into the crystal skull's eyes for a moment and oh, oh dear, dear. Darling, do you know what you found?
I don't. I was just trying to find some interesting stuff for you.
This here is the collected knowledge of well, just about everyone that ever passed through that chamber.
Hmm.
Lots of knowledge in here.
Is
Lots of
it
esoteric knowledge.
is it worth what we bargained for?
Darling, if the knowledge can get me an audience with the Lord, this most certainly would. I'm going to the big tree soon. Oh, going to the big tree and going to answer some of the big questions and maybe get my own nobility. Hell, maybe even get a chair on the council. This is most definitely, darling, worth it. I don't suppose you found anything else of interest in there? I don't mean piddly things like the cards, darling. But you seem to have come across some secrets that people seem to have died before getting out. I'm actually rather impressed.
Just some boots.
I found
Well,
some
dead man's
armor.
shoe. Oh,
But
armor.
that, considering I nearly died twice in there, I think I'd rather keep the armor for myself if it's all the same.
Oh, yeah, no, you should definitely keep the armor. Help, help protect yourself. Well, now let's see.
Am I allowed to say anything out of character?
You may.
She did mention that there was a tin can involved and that you must have got here faster because of a tin can early on in the conversation.
Oh, I
Not
thought
sure
they were talking about Cassie.
I mean,
Yeah, that was
okay.
that was a reference to Cassie being a tin can versus cannibals.
That was
Gotcha.
getting over the cannibals.
mesa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah. No, that is in no way reference to.
What
crab
was
car.
it that Cassie gave Genevieve to hold on to?
The coin pouch
Oh, was that it?
of
Okay.
holding.
Okay.
Let's see. There's the coin
Yeah,
pouch of
that's what it
holding.
was.
Okay. Sorry, my brain short circuited.
No, no, it's okay. But yeah, Cassie gave it to Genevieve because she feared for pickpockets. So
Got it.
It's empty. I mean,
Well,
oh,
the
I thought it was
knowledge and the
in it.
skull.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
I'll definitely get you some dirt. I'll even get you a little something extra, cause you got me more than just an audience, darling. You got me moving to the big tree, and maybe even a high branch. So, tender, darling, why don't you go hang out on the porch for us for a moment?
That's you, Shay.
oh, sure.
Right, Shay, you step outside.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Old Becky's gonna wait a moment, then she's going to get up and kind of shuffle out of the room, then shuffle back with a bag of dirt and hand it to you, Genevieve. Now, this here, darling, this is worth more than its weight in gold on this here asteroid. So you guard that very carefully. But I'll give you a little something extra for it too, because you did old Becky a big favor.
I'm listening.
She's gonna glance around and then lean in very close and lower her voice. The big trick about the dirt, darling, it ain't from here. I'm just the middle lady who got smart enough to find it. You know where it comes from?
Where does it come from?
Comes from the Roaring Hollow. Them there cultists there, they found it and they were looking for a use for this runoff from whatever's in that roaring crevice, and old Becky found exactly what it could be used for. Everyone thinks old Becky has control. Oh no, it's the Roaring Hollow. But they say they're moving on, which means the dirt's going to be a very precious commodity soon, unless someone can figure out how to get it out of that them there hellhole. So if you want to know where the dirt comes from and how it works, That's who you're gonna have to convince.
And if they're moving on soon.
Well, soon as in within the next few months, darling. So you got some time, but not a lot.
Did she just give you the dirt on the dirt?
She did.
She sure did.
But you
Genevieve,
aren't going to tell anyone outside of what old Becky just told you, right? Don't want to give anyone else a leg up.
of course not. Trying to do some things for myself.
Now that's a good relax. Now, do you have the oath bark, darling?
Genevieve will pull it out and hand it over.
She's going to run her fingers over some of the lettering, and the glow kind of fades. Now, darling, I'm going to make you an offer, and you can absolutely refuse. But when I get to the big tree, if I get into the big tree and on the high branch, I might be in a position to offer you some favors in the future. So I could take this back, and you could enjoy a night here and go on your merry way, and never we shall ever meet again. Or you could keep this and give me a call someday when you really need to make a bargain.
I think I might hang on to it. At the very least, you may know some tricks.
Oh, I know every trick of the trade, darling, except the greatest one, and she's going to tap her nose. That's all with the Lord of the tree. He knows every trick, including the greatest one here. Well, except for the fallen, but who knows what the fallen thing is.
I'll be honest with you. I've not got a druid circle right now. So,
Oh, now if you're
having
looking for a druid circle,
having the favors would not be a bad idea.
oh, darling, you play your cards right and I play my cards right, you might be the start of a brand new circle that spreads across the galaxy. Wouldn't that be fun?
I think I'd like that
Between
very much.
between that dirt and that flooring and a few other secrets, we could seed the galaxy.
Well, you go get in with the big tree. And
Oh,
we'll
I
see what
intend to.
comes, and then we'll see what comes from it.
Oh, great things, great and terrible. And she's gonna let out a small, wicked little laugh. All right, now you go on and you enjoy the market. I'll have old I'll have little Penny follow you around. They'll make sure you don't get eaten or cheated or swindled, and that your little friend doesn't get turned into dinner, and that your souls stay mostly whole. Uh, and you and your other two friends, I didn't see them, but I'm sure they're around somewhere. Enjoy the market, enjoy the night, and enjoy the food. Little Penny will make sure that there ain't nothing that you can eat that'll trap you here.
I appreciate that. There doesn't happen to
Oh,
be a place where we could s- safely get to long rest, is there?
oh, there's plenty of places, and in fact, go to Old Jim. Old Jim has this lovely little place under one of the big mushrooms, and it's nice and warm and moist, and well protected. And with little Penny, you won't be bothered, and they won't even charge you.
Now that sounds like a night I can deal with.
A
So,
pleasure, and I look forward to our future relationship.
did she take the deck of cards with her though?
Nope,
Or
she
did
left that for you.
Okay, so Genevieve will put the deck of cards, the chitin, and the bark back into her bag, and then she'll step outside and she'll just say, I know a spot where we can get to long rest.
That what you came for?
I,
You also have your bag of dirt. Don't forget that.
yes, that went straight into the bag.
All right, I'm exhausted.
Where is Lil Penny?
Oh, aren't you just the tastiest looking tenders that wandered into our little forest? You hear a little pixie say. Pixie has fangs and seems to be um, have a little tail too. It's kind of adorable, kind of disturbing. Now,
You remind me of someone I know.
oh well, I just have that sort of face, don't you know? Now, uh, Mama Becky says that I'm to treat you like honored guests and no selling of your soul. So, what can I do for you?
Well, she told us about a place where we could go and get some night's sleep safely. Was it Tom
Old
or
Jim.
Jim?
Old
Thank you.
Jim.
Old Jim?
Ah, old Jim glowing little mushrooms? Yeah, right this way. Bit too big for me, don't you know? But, about the right size for you. Hell, about the right size for a centaur. You might even get a cuddle one. Just be careful. The hides are sharp. And she's going to kind of float about a foot in front of you, leading the way. Would you like to do anything in the market? Would you like to eat anything? Or would you like to just go ahead and head to sleep?
She would like to ask this little.
Hmm?
I don't know why I keep forgetting names.
It's a pixie.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Lil Penny.
Penny.
Lil Penny.
I don't know why I keep forgetting names. It's like I just heard it. She'll say, if it's not too forward of me to ask, I've noticed you all look like you look a little different from what I'm used to. Is it the
Oh.
asteroid that's changing you, or is it the tree?
Oh, well. You know the old saying. You know the old saying, don't you? She knows the old saying, right, little Kender?
I don't know the old saying.
Oh, it's a very simple old saying. She's gonna just kind of zoom in right in front of you. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Now let's go see little old Jim.
Genevieve will lean over and just say, but I think I want to know the answer to it.
Oh my god.
In the back of your head, you just hear old Becky cackling. You don't know why. And yes, you are going to go over to the mushrooms. It is a nice little glowing tall mushroom. There are a couple centaurs and elves and other species just resting there. There is a space for you. Little Penny is offering to explain things to Old Jim. Old Jim seems to be a heron gone with folded back ears and a bit of a shaggy gray fur that seems the muzzle fur seems almost red, which is kind of funny, but that's okay. Meanwhile, over at the crab car, have you buried 20 feet or not?
Yeah, Kitlak is definitely buried at 20 feet. His methodology is, go down 20 feet, dig around and try and find a place to come up for air, and then go back down 20 feet, rinse and repeat.
Well, you've got 10 hours of air. You can literally stay down
Oh,
there for a
okay.
long rest if you
Okay,
like.
well then he's gonna stay down there for a long rest.
Okay.
He's playing cards. He has the cards that he got that are mundane, and he's trying to teach himself some sort of card game. Three Dragon Ante, some sort of Three Dragon Ante with it.
Okay. Then we are going to go ahead and say you're all taking a long rest for the evening, daytime, whatever time it is on this asteroid, and you do all get to level up.
Hooray!
Yes.
Hooray!
Next
You know,
time,
Kitlak,
there are some things to go over. I believe there's still some treasure to review. That armor needs to be studied. And, well, you're still going to have to go through Mistmar in the morning, or whatever morning is. So, thank you for joining us. And is everyone here next week? I think everyone's here next week.
Yep.
I will be.
Yeah, I'll be here
I've
next
got
week.
so many people saying I won't be here this week between the three games. I'm kind of losing it. Yeah. So
One thing I would like to say,
yeah, go ahead.
Cassie is going to identify the other item while she's taking a long rest.
Okay. As I recall, you had the shield and you had the boots, correct?
The gloves.
The boots
Did
we
you
identified.
you didn't identify the
Oh,
glove that time.
Kitlak has the boots.
Mhm.
Yeah. The gloves are, as you identify them, they are living gloves. They are symbiotic gloves made of chitin and sinew. They pulse the same
Ye-
color as the floor, and you gain a proficiency if you attune to them.
So all the other stuff about the Dalekir that doesn't exist.
The only
Long silence.
the only curse associated with living gloves is that you can't de-attune to them voluntarily. You can only remove them on the spell that ends a curse, or if you die.
Hmm.
These aren't the very cursed gloves; these are the symbiotic gloves.
Got you.
You're level 3. I'm not going to do that to you.
Yeah, but
Probably.
Cassie still wouldn't know that part, right?
Let's see. Yeah, curses do not show up on identify, but yeah, there's the symbiotic gloves. Basically, you get to choose sleight of hand, thieves' tools, and artisan tools, or a musical instrument, and get double your proficiency while you wear the gloves.
Oh yeah, I have that plant armor. She'll, Genevieve would probably don it after, as they lay down.
Okay. For that, if you don't mind going a little later, I know not everyone can. Do you mind?
We can touch on it next week if you want.
I mean, I'm okay to write it out, but I
It's
understand
only
that other
it's
people
only
are
going to be
not.
a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, hold on, I gotta find it. All right, the armor. Hold on, it's not showing up again. Let me pull it up here. Okay. The chitinous armor is also special. Uh, it does require attunement, and as you don it, you feel something within you. You ate that strange abyssal skin, or not abyssal, aberrant skin. It is
Yeah.
still within you.
Yeah.
As you don the armor, you feel the skin something react within you.
Uh,
This is the devil's deal. You can accept this armor, but you will not be able to remove it. It'll become a symbiotic armor, basically. However, if you reject that, you are going to lose the armor and you will take some damage as you heave up this unholy mess that you swallowed. The
Hmm.
armor uh, functions as normal armor as it's of its kind. It grants advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws, and makes its wearer immune to the frightened condition. It also allows you to breathe in any atmosphere.
And it's just I would not be able to take it off.
Correct. And there's a few other potential issues, but that will come up later.
yeah, like showering.
Eh.
She's a druid. That's not necessarily a necessity. It is a devil's a devil's bargain. There is something regarding it, but beyond that, you don't know. But it does offer all of that if you decide to keep it.
Well, I like not being frightened. I like being immune to frightened, so she'll do it. She's not one to back down
Okay.
from a challenge.
Okay. Um, you can ignore the requirement for who can attune it, because you can attune it. but there it is. I'm sure you can find it on D&D Beyond. What armors are you fluent in?
Fluent.
Or are you not fluent? What's the term? Trained in.
Proficient.
Thank you.
Sorry. Light and medium.
I have good brain. All right, so
French.
choose a medium armor of your choice.
Okay.
I am proficient in French.
Got it.
All right, and that's our game. Thank you, everyone. Level up. Don't forget to do that. That's very important. And we'll see you all again next week.
All right. Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
See
Have
ya,
a good
see
day.
ya.
Y'all have a good night.